Oh, amazing. Oh, the block between the inner knee. Amazing. And then just settle into the body here. Okay. So, in a regular yoga class, like without weights, then a lot of the ways that we build strength is just by creating like resistance. So, like you can think that we'll do lizard poses today, where we really try to connect the inner knee to the outer shoulder and like press for some of that like isometric engagement. Okay, so that's why it's nice to start with the block between the knees. And then just as you lie back here, I've been thinking about my mind like a cassette tape. Not even sure we could find those anymore. But right, like I would put it in my little boom box and you would fast forward and then hit pause and listen to a song. And then sometimes you would rewind, going back and forth like this between songs that I like. And then eventually the tape would get all caught up. You'd have a huge knot, you'd have to pull it out and then slowly untangle it. So starting to take a few deep breaths, just imagining that you're starting to untangle the mind. But I also like this metaphor because so much of my mind is fast forwarding my day or being on rewind and replaying the same things over and over again. So while we practice, you try to catch yourself if you're fast forwarding the breath, if you're skipping over tracks. And the idea of a yoga practice is just to hit play and let your thoughts, let the sensations, let the moments just flow through. Like you're listening to music as the observer. We're going to inhale without really squeezing the block. And then as you exhale, put that like internal pressure, waking up the inner thigh. Soften, inhale. Exhale, deep squeeze. One more, inhale. Exhale. Remove the block. Bring the bottoms of your feet together and let your knees widen apart. Trace the awareness from the pubic bone. That is where your adductor attaches all the way through the inseam of the inner thigh. And like if I was there, I would insert my thumb into that fold at your inner knee. And I would just kind of roll the flesh out and around, dragging the inner thighs wide. Inhale, hold, lift bum, squeeze, hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release, and let the inner knees widen. Inhale, lift, hold, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. Release. And it's that full, like melting exhale. It even takes me a second. Like my muscles kind of want to grip, soften into it. And one more. Inhale. Hold the breath. Lift the hip. Squeeze the glutes. Drag the heels. 3, 2, 1. Melt it down. And let the inner thighs soften. Pick up your feet. Interlace your fingers over the pinky edge sides of your feet here. Perfect. Yep. And then just see what has gotten disconnected from the mat. Probably the backs of your shoulders. Yep. Keep that lifting of the heart. And then what I like here is that resistance, that as I pull the feet in, I can press my sacrum fully down. Feel the arch. There we go. Feel the arch in the low back. And then imagine someone putting their thumbs on your inner knees, taking them long, like wide, and then forward. Inhale. Actually, you're going to keep a hold of your left foot, step your right foot down into the mat, and bring your left leg into half happy baby pose. Extend your right heel all the way forward, coming into a supine lizard lunge. I want our right femur bone to push down into the hamstring. Hamstring presses down into the floor. And then from there, you just keep guiding the thigh bones wider, but that left knee not swinging out, keeping it flat underneath the heel. Inhale. Exhale. Lift up your head, your neck, and your shoulders here. Yep. Curling in, looking forward. Try to keep the leg, so that's isometrically holding that leg. Interlace your fingers forward in Kali Mudra and pulse. 10, 9, 8, sliding forward. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bottoms of your feet together. Interlace the fingers here. Okay, so one of the hardest poses for my body is Supta Baddha Konasana, like when we're seated like this, and then we try to hinge forward into the fold. So I really like this because it keeps my spine straight. I tone my glutes a little, right? So we kind of know that that's what let the adductors release. Inhale. Exhale. Zubair, hi. I totally messed up the meeting ID. I see you figured it out. Thank you very much for your patience. And when you're ready, you're going to join Claire and I on our back here. And Claire, you just get to hold on there. And as you lie down, Zubair, you pull the feet in. Okay. Today, we're working on inner thigh. And we're playing with the cassette tape of our mind. We're not trying to let our thoughts fast forward and skip ahead to the next song. We're not trying to rewind and go back and keep playing the same song over and over again. We're trying to just hit play and listen to the sound of our breath. Keep holding on to right foot. Step your left foot down into the mat and stack your right heel over your right knee in your half happy baby. And then the left leg will extend forward. So we feel like we're on our backs in a lizard pose. Good. And we really try to actually use the strength of that right arm, bending the elbow to pull the top of the right knee down towards the floor. One more breath. See if the mind skips ahead. Come back to presence. Inhale. Exhale. Pick up that left foot. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Feel the bottoms of your feet together. Again, using your hand. And then we widen the knees. Now we split the feet, holding the pinky edge sides, and come in to your happy baby pose. So for all of us, our hips are going to want to curl up away from the mat. Our job is to keep trying to press the sacrum down. And then even though we don't move the feet, you try to widen your inner thighs. That's our focus today. Inhale. Exhale, leave the left foot exactly where it is. Stretch your right leg fully forward. And then draw your left knee in towards your chest to come into the twist, pulling that left knee across the body. Left arm extends out. Now, strengthening the inner thighs is like squeezing that imaginary block between your upper legs. But then also you want to resist and push your left knee up into your right hand. And through that resistance, see if you can turn the belly, turn the ribs, turn the shoulders, turn the gaze. Stay right with breath, hitting play. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, come back to center, happy baby pose. Pinky edge sides of both feet. Good. And then extend left leg all the way forward. Yep. And then we don't want to miss this one. Sorry, Claire. Keep your right foot where it is. Release it. Lift up head, neck, and shoulder blades. Interlace your fingers, Kali Mudra, and you feel that strength of the core and the inner thigh holding it stable and pull. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, reaching 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Draw your right knee fully in towards your chest. And then right knee comes across the body as you twist open. So if we're going to work on both strength and length of the inner thighs today, feel the sitting bones get closer to one another. Feel your inner thighs get closer. And then press the right knee up into the left hand and try to wring it out. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we're going to do one more happy baby, but this time I want you to hold your inner heels as you come back to center. Grab your inner heels like that big round bone. Yep, so Zubair, grab from the inside of your feet. Grab the heel and pull straight down. And then to the best that you can, you try to take cow pose through the hips, right? So that's lumbar curve. Inhale. Exhale. Draw both knees in towards your chest. That should lengthen your low back. And then we're going to rock forward to plant our hands and meet in tabletop position. Okay, so I try not to move my hands. I glue them down. But then I turn my elbow creases forward. I look that my elbow creases are parallel to the top of my mat. And then into the shoulders down, using the muscles on the side body to pull the shoulders back and the chest through. Dropping the belly, lifting the chest. Stretch the chin forward, open the throat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your home base, the thing that you're going to try to continually come back to today is the play button. Notice when you get paused, you get stuck in a thought, you're rewinding, you're fast forwarding. You know you're not listening to the music of your breath. right? And we can't hear it playing in the background. Inhale. Exhale, knees down to the mat, tabletop position. Inner knees come together to touch. And so for every time you bring your knees together, if you kind of squeeze them gently, you're going to activate your inner thigh. And then left foot is going to step out on the diagonal. Sorry, like at that lateral position. Good. And then as you walk your hands forward, keep tipping through the pelvis. Roll the inner thigh up and back. And then I can fold my left forearm in to create a pillow. And reach and extend that right arm forward. So I kind of find like the center of this pose is my right hip. And from my right hip, I'm stretching forward into my right hand. And from my right hip, I'm stretching through the left hip, through the inner leg, through the inner knee, even through that inner left ankle as it lifts up. And then we spread all the way out to the pinky edge side of that left foot. Can we drop the rib cage? Use the heaviness of the rib cage to help to rotate the pelvis forward. You should feel inner thigh stretching. Inhale. Exhale, press back up to center. Knees squeeze together. Your tabletop. And then right leg extends out laterally. Drop, you lift chest. And then walk the hands forward as you fold. Right forearm in and left arm extend. So we really want to feel that inner arch of your right foot lifting up. That inner right ankle bone, don't let it collapse. Pull it up away from the floor. And then it really depends on what you need to work on today. You could still imagine that you're squeezing the knees towards one another. You're squeezing that right heel in towards your left knee, and then spreading out into the pinky edge side of the right foot. Come back up to center, tabletop position, knees directly underneath your hips. Elbow creases turn forward, biceps forward, triceps back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, downward facing dog. I am very, very guilty of being the type of person who likes a song and then I listen to it over and over and over again on repeat. And so notice if there's like certain thoughts that you just say to yourself over and over again in a yoga practice or off your mat. Can we just keep hitting play and moving forward? Inhale. Exhale, knees down onto the mat. And then step right foot outside edge of right hand. I line up the pinky edge side of my foot with the long edge side of my mat. Now, before you move up, press your right knee into your outer right shoulder. Squeeze them in like your shoulder was a block. And then use that to keep firming your right hip in. Once you have that, lift your back left knee into a lizard lunge. Good. Now you did this on the floor. Think your sitting bones are drawing together. Pull the chest forward like your cow pose. And then lower your back left knee down. Good. I want you both to keep thinking up dog. Pulling the hands back, the shoulders back, driving the hips forward and down. Spread through your inner thighs, but keep that resistance against your shoulders stronger and longer. Inhale. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Do the legs change? You start to feel that. Knees to the mat, tabletop. Left foot steps outside edge of left hand. Wait for it. Squeeze in first. When you squeeze in from your left hip in, as you use your left shoulder to press that left knee more open, it should feel like half of your happy baby pose. And then lengthen your back right leg, lifting the right knee. I'm liking this cue of imagining my two sitting bones are like magnets and they're trying to squeeze together. Yep. And then pull the heart forward like cow pose. And then lower the back knee. Good. As you drag the shoulders down and back, inhale, lift the heart, think up dog. And then step back, downward facing dog. Big toes come together to touch at the back of your mat. Lift and extend right leg, three-legged down, right knee, roll right hip open. Okay. So when we turn that top away from the inner left knee, you should feel the abductor stretch. And then lizard lunge. Pressing my left femur bone into my left hamstring, and I'm always pressing the top of my right shin bone forward. Lower the back knee just like we did, and you've got these little points, you guys, that you check in. Squeeze that right knee in from the right hip in. Pull the chest forward like you're doing your up dog, and then lower down onto your left forearm. As you come down onto your left forearm, reach that right arm up. Bend elbow up and see if you can use the strength of your upper back, your neck, and your head to open. This is your inhale. Exhale, top. Right elbow to left elbow. Continue. Inhale, open, but keep stabilizing through that right knee. Exhale, sitting bones are pulling together as you round. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, tap. Send the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Look up, stretch up. And then plant both palms as you step to plank pose. Feel the release at the top of that right thigh. Inhale, plank. Exhale, push the floor as you lower. Inhale, curl up, push back to your toes, long legs. Remember, we're pulling forward before we lift up. And then press back, downward facing dog. If your mind is fast forwarding, hit pause. Wait till you have your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Big toes come together to touch back of your mat. Lift and extend left leg up and back. Bend left knee. Roll left hip open. Okay, so that's kind of like a big part of class today is making sure that the right hip squeezes in, the bottom hip firms in, and the top hip rolls open to stretch the inner right thigh. Step, left foot, outside edge of left hand, lizard lunge. Yep, squeeze in, wait for it, make the right leg longer, pull the heart forward, and then lower your back right knee down. You might still have a little more space to pull the rib cage through, and then lower down with your right forearm. Left arm extends up towards the ceiling. For most of us, the weight is going to roll to the pinky side of that left foot. Try to keep it squeezing in, bend elbow, cup head. Open front body first. I want you to feel like a back bend, and then exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, top touch. One more. Inhale. And exhale. As you open, look up towards those left fingertips. Reach. Left hand to the mat, top of your push-up. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Don't fast forward. Exhale to the belly. Inhale, stretch back to pull forward. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look back at your feet and take your feet as wide as your mat. And I am trying to completely press my heels a little bit open, get very parallel with the long edge sides of your mat. See if that gives you more space to drop the heaviness of your rib cage through. And then malasana at the back of your mat. Walk your hands backwards. You can turn your feet out slightly if you need to. Drop down, malasana. Inhale. Exhale, plug down into your legs as you lift all the way to rise. Good. Walk forward. Step wide. When I step wider, I can drop my tailbone down. Open the palms, lift the heart, and inhale, arms up. And then exhale, fold in, holding onto your ankles. So you're going to pull your rib cage through. Get a nice hamstring stretch there. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Bend knee, sit low. Malasana. So really, you guys should have a lot of the energy of our happy baby pose. Same long spine, same squeezing of the glutes, same widening of the upper thighs, but you're squeezing your knees in. Hands to the mat. Step your left leg back. Lizard lunge. Squeeze in. Pull the right sitting bone back. Lower your back, left knee down. And then walk your hands back. Straighten the front right leg out on the diagonal. Now with our hands glued on the mat, shoulders squared. Inhale, cow pose. Good. And then I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you want to stay in or like stay up on your hands? Or do you want to try to drop down onto both elbows now? 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale, awareness is going up the inseam of that leg. That's our plan today. And then press back up. And can you lift the back left knee and pick up that right foot, top of your push-up plank pose. If you're ready, inhale. You could go to your chaturanga. Inhale, open, up dog. Downward facing dog. Okay, so I think both of you are enough of an age that you did probably have cassettes. And just how frustrating it would be. You'd have to take a pencil, right? And you have to like stick the eraser end into the little spoke and slowly, carefully fix all that tangled tape, hoping you didn't ruin it. And so it's kind of like your yoga pose, like your yoga practice. It's like slowing down, untangling the mind and body, hoping that you're not ruining like the present moment. Skipping ahead, inhale. Exhale, feet go wide at the back of your mat. Walk your hands back. Malasana, drop low. Shrug the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, rock the weight back into the heels. Once you feel the weight in the heels, that's like when we were grabbing them. Press down, lift all the way to rise. Good. Step forward, top of your sticky mat. There's that internal rotation of your upper thighs. The rooting of the tailbone down. Release your palms. Inhale, full stretch, arms up, reach. Exhale, fold in like you're trying to pull your ribs between your inner thighs, almost like you're going to look up underneath your bum. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Bend knees, squat down, deep fold at the knees, your inner knees lengthening up and out. Inhale, Malasana. Exhale, hands to the mat, right foot, step back, lizard lunge. Press the top of that right femur bone back into the hamstring, and then lower your back right knee. Walk your hands back, straighten the front left leg, square it off, elbow creases forward. Inhale, cow. And then decide if you want to drop down onto the forearm. 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. So especially when I have like an uncomfortable sensation, I might kind of distract myself, skip forward, rewind, be right here. Inhale, just let it play out. Exhale, come up onto palms, lift the back knee and try to pick up that left leg, plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend elbows, chaturanga. Inhale to pull, forward, up dog. Roll over toes, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Feet go wide. One last little round here, you guys. We're going to go a little bit faster. Walk it all the way back. Bring it down into your Malasana. And then with your left shoulder on the inside edge of that left knee, really try to press it open wider. Plant your left palm and then rotate through the ribs, rotate through the shoulder, right arm up. For most people, that right knee is going to collapse in. Keep pressing it out wide. And then extend right arm over your right ear on that diagonal. Good. Come back to center. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, press all the way up to stand. Walk it forward, top of your sticky mat. Inner rotate those thighs there. So when you think to roll them back, you should feel them engage slightly. Drop hands. Inhale, arms up, reach. Exhale, left hand, left hip. Side lean. Push your hips to the right. Go a little bit deeper, pushing your ribs to the right as you reach to the left. Inhale, back up through center. Now exhale, slide down the imaginary wall right into your malasana. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps back, lizard lunge. From here, over your front right foot, we're gonna come into Skandasana. So I turn my right foot in, spin my left toes up, and try to drop down here. Now use that right shoulder to press your right knee open. Good, Zubair. And now the left hand, you guys, walk it towards the right. Yeah. You turn away from that back left hip, you should feel the side body lengthen. Inhale, all today, open, 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 and then we're gonna stay low. Pivot, turn to the top of your mat. You should be landing in a low lunge. Step your right foot back, top of your push-up plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, full up dog. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. I don't move my feet. I imagine I have a block between my knees. And I spread open against that. Inhale. Feel feet wide. Walk it back. Final time. Walking back into your malasana. And then right shoulder, and you both did it correctly. You kind of like dip it in so you can press it open, plant the palms, stabilize. And then you're trying to turn away from the inner right thigh. And then once you have that, extend left arm over your left ear. Keep dropping that left sitting bone as you stretch up and out. Inhale. Exhale, hands back to the heart center. Whenever you need to, just kind of hip pause, come back to breath, and then you press all the way to stand. Walk your feet forward, top of your sticky mat. Heels press out, inner thighs roll in. Release the hands, inhale, arms up. Left hand, right hand, right hip. Push the hips to the left as you reach to the right. Inhale. Exhale, you're gonna come back to center. Slide it all the way down. That should be your last malasana. Okay, see if you can feel all the energies of a happy baby pose though. Pressing into the heels. Squeezing the glutes. Fingertips to the mat. Step your right leg back. Lizard lunge. Prepare. Skandasana. Left toes turn in. Right toes roll around until they point up. And then there's lots of variations of this, but I like to press that left knee open and then crawl my right fingertip over to the left. See if that, so the whole thing is like rolling that outer right hip down. Inhale. Exhale. Stay low. Turn to the top of your mat. Low lunge. Prepare. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward and up. Exhale, send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. 1. Inhale, press the femur bones back into your hamstrings as they broaden for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Look forward, jump forward, feet together, top of your sticky mat. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low. Great place for a little inner thighs as you squeeze the knees together. Inhale. Fold out over your legs. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen half, flat back. Exhale, step back. Use your exhale to lower, slow chaturanga. Move through the vinyasa. Inhale. Use the opening of the hips to lift the spine. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, back left heel spins to flat. Lift to rise, warrior one. Right, so in a warrior one, that right foot is a little bit wider. So you can really turn the back left hip forward. It's a lot like a humble warrior. Bring your hands down on the inside edge of that front foot. Yep, plant the palm. Can you move your left foot back? Can you keep squeezing your right hip in? Now look forward and then walk your fingertips forward off the top of your mat. Like, let's imagine that we have a really, really long mat, like a really long runway. Shin bone forward. Widen the thigh bones away from each other as you squeeze through your sitting bone. And then to drop down and in for 3, 2, shoulder. Lift the feet. Your push-up. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward. Stretch out the tops of your feet. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Spread your awareness. Inhale. Exhale. In. X. One more. Just let it play out fully. Take the whole exhale. Look forward. Hop, step, float. Top of your sticky mat. Squeeze knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, drop hips, sit low, chair pose, inner thighs to lift up. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat. Step back, 1, 2, top of your push-up, plank pose. Wait for your breath, and then move through your vinyasa into your downward facing dog. Warrior one. Left foot steps forward. Back heel spins to flat. Lift to rise. Warrior one. Broad base. Internally rotating that back right thigh. So that should use your adductor. Sitting bones squeeze together to lift up. And then hands plant inside edge of that front left foot. Now I need to move my right foot back more, so I bend deep into that knee. Remember, we're squeezing the knee in. Sitting bones are magnetized. And then begin to walk your hands forward. I always tend to squeeze my neck and shoulders. Let that soften. 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Pull the mat apart. Strengthen length here through inner thighs. Hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift that top of your push-up, plank. Push floor. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Okay, feet together, you guys, and we're gonna go left leg just because so we all look at the screen together. Take left leg up and bend left knee, roll left hip open, turning that left hip point away from your inner right thigh, more stretch there. And then this time, step your right foot forward in between the hands, spin the back heel to flat. And we're gonna be in heel to back arch alignment. Now I'm gonna put a block on the inside of my left foot, flat, style. Plant my hand there. So I can now really start to press the shoulder and knee together. Then keep your right fingertips on the floor, okay? Yeah. If you push into the block and you push into your right fingertip, Take cat pose. So more core. Then we're going to open this by opening your right hip more. Start to open your right rib. Your fingertips will come off the mat. Open your right shoulder and roll open into side angle, right? It's not segmented. It's all a path. You roll up from heel. Sitting bones are pulling together through the tailbone, through the ribs, through the shoulder, through the fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Where's the soundtrack? What are you listening to right in the moment with breath? Inhale. Exhale. Hand down to the mat. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale. So does the spine start to feel lighter? The upper body feel more open when the legs release? Downward facing dog. Okay, so feet together. And then go from the midline. Right leg lift, bend right knee, roll right hip open. So this is what we're doing in the side angle. Rolling the top hip. Stretch the inner thigh. Right foot steps forward, lunge. Spin your back, left heel to flat, heel to back arch alignment. Now use a block. Yep, and squeeze and press. So I'm squeezing right knee in, but I'm pressing right knee open. Firming that right hip in. Squeeze sitting bones together. You're on your left fingertips. And then cat pose. And that helps me to like look underneath my body. And then I think to turn my left hip open. Start to roll my right ribs open, right shoulder. And unfold into side angle. Focus on inner thighs here. Inner right thigh to inner right knee, like someone's grabbing the flesh and the inside of that right knee and pulling it forward and pulling it forward as you reach. Hand to the mat. Top of your push-up. Plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, adho. Okay, inhale, shift forward into plank. Put your left knee down. Spin your right heel to flat. Supported side angle pose. Now turn your left toes over to the left. And then squeeze your knees together. In hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the knee bent. Point the toes up towards the ceiling. Plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, step left foot outside edge of left hand. Spin your back right heel to flat. Start to heel toe that left foot open until you're in heel to back arch alignment. Hold there. And start to walk your hands only towards the right side of your mat. Good. Now you're going to put your left hand on the inside of that right knee and try to press it open. Good. Maybe take your legs wider, your feet wider apart. And now, cow pose. 3. Can you sink the hips in deeper? Use that leverage of your left arm to stretch. 2. And 1. Straighten your left leg. Parallel your feet. Line up your fingertips with your toe tips. Inhale, lengthen inner thighs and roll up and back. They should feel pretty bright here by now, you guys. Fold in. And I'll leave it up to you. If you want a tripod headstand, if you want to press down to lift up, or just focus on lifting the kneecap, squeezing the inner knees together, and pressing your thigh bones apart for 3. Yep. Take your time, Zubaira. Let's hold. Claire's up there too, so take your time. Enjoy the inversion, you guys. Take about 5 more breaths under your own validity. Stay up there. And then when you're ready, when you've taken your 5 breaths, you come back down, straightening your arms. Low lunge at the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, find plank pose. Pause in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Right knee down underneath right hip. Spin left heel to flat, left arm up, Salamba Vasisthasana. Feel the energy in that back left foot. Now point your right toes over to the right. And then use your inner thighs to squeeze and activate inner legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the knee bent. Bent knee, plank pose. Hold there. Still squeezing inner thighs. My left inner thigh is really working. And then step. Right foot outside edge of right hand, lizard lunge. Drag the heart forward. Go deep into your thighs. Keep spreading them open. They should be really stretched out by now. And then you spin the back left heel to flat. Begin to heel toe your right foot to the middle, line up here. The theme is right hip squeezes in, right knee widens out, and then you keep walking your hands to the middle of your mat. Right hand inside edge of right knee. You could even put your right thumb, kind of hook it into that flesh, roll it open, and then you need to take cow pose, dropping belly, lifting chest. 1. Inhale, maybe you widen your feet open more for 2. Not many more inner thigh stretches, you guys. If there's anything left that you want to get there, pull it open. And then release. Parallel your feet to the right. And then your choice. Either grab your big toes in a yogic toe lock to pull more down and in, or if you want a little more shoulders, we haven't done a lot of shoulders today, you could interlace your hands and lift them up and over. 1. Untangle the mind by steadying the breath. Okay, sitting bones are magnetizing together, but you're still stretching out against that. And then plant your palm. Turn forward to the top of your mat. Low lunge. Wait for your plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop forward, press floor, up dog. Downward facing dog. Last one, big toes come together to touch. Keep right leg up and back. 3-legged down dog, roll into it as much as you can. Knees are wide. Step right foot, outside edge of right hand. Put your back left knee down. Good. And then you turn that right foot open at about 45 degrees. And then circle the top arm around. Fold the back left leg in. And then if you want to come down onto your forearm. Good. Whatever the mind is saying. It's like you pick the song, you pick the track. You decide that it's going to be the sound of your breath as your front body opens. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Downward facing dog. Inhale, slide forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. This is your last one, yeah. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale, float. Left leg, bend left knee. Roll left hip open. So it's that movement of the top hip. And then left foot step outside edge of left hand. Wide in the inner thigh. Put your back right knee down. Turn left foot open. That just protects the knee a little. And then circle that top left arm around and come into galaxy pose. You decide if you want to drop down onto right elbow. 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Release. Press up. Table top position. Pivot, turn to the long edge side of your mat facing the camera. And then draw your knees apart. Now I'm going to use a block here, you guys. Turn your toes in the direction of your knees. Feel your inner ankles. Frog pose. So the wider I take my knees, I like to put that block underneath my rib cage so that supports it. There's a little magnetizing of the sitting bones towards one another as your inner knees try to stretch open. One minute. For your last couple seconds, you imagine those thumbs on your inner knees, stretching the skin on the inner knees wider and more open apart. And then hands plant underneath your shoulders. You need to press up. I like to bring my toes towards one another. Ooh. Yeah, inner thigh. Did we get it, you guys? And then come to lie down. And then take your feet wide and let your inner knees come together to touch. Yeah, so feet are wider. Inner knees touch. That's going to give you that lumbar curve again. Arms out to the side. And then just keep your feet wide, open your knees. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop knees to the right, look to the left. Just a gentle twist. Roll through center. Bend your knees in the opposite direction. Look away from the knees. Come back to center. And then straighten your legs. Fell off. Closing your eyes. We just hit play. We can't stop life. We can't pause time. We miss the music in the moment when we're fast forwarding and we're winding. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch your arms up overhead. Bend your knees as you roll to your right. And come up to find seated. As you fold your hands in front of your heart center, I'm finding that this is a really good metaphor because I can feel in my life when I'm trying to speed something up. I feel when I'm rewinding and just repeating. And the whole idea is just life is hitting play and watching it unfold, not trying to control it. Taking your thumbs to your third eye as you bow forward to seal your practice. Jai, Siddhatma. Jai.